So who here is a city person? A city person? There's a handful of us. Okay. So I have been born and raised in cities my whole life. I lived outside of Detroit growing up, and then we moved to Aurora, which is part of the Denver metro area amoeba that just keeps growing. And then I moved here, and I was chatting with someone right before worship about how Colorado Springs used to be a nice town of about 80,000 people, and now we're at about 500,000, right? So I've lived here for 12 years, and if you live in Colorado Springs, so we're a big city, but we live right in the foothills of some of the most amazing country that. If you connect with creation, all you got to do is drive 15 minutes to Red Rock Open Space, and then it's just suddenly there. Or if you're in the middle of the city like I am, I live right off of Union. Palmer Park is an 8-minute drive, right? Plopped right there in the middle of the city. But I'm not what one would consider outdoorsy. I don't like being too hot. I don't like sweating. I don't like bugs. I'm just that's not my vibe. I'm a city girl, right? But one summer in 2019, I was asked to be what was called a sabbatical interim for our sister congregation up in Buena Vista, Colorado. So about an hour and a half away, just up Highway 24. And so every week for about 12 weeks, it was my job early on a Saturday morning to drive all the way up to Buena Vista, hang out in the pastor's office for a while, see if anyone wanted to come talk to me, do worship, and then come back down. Those folks are a different kind of outdoorsy, right? The river is right there, so you got folks who are whitewater rafting, and there was a lot of folks who were they would come to church, but they would come to church seasonally because they would only be there for the summer. And I was like, good, me too. Right, but I learned from them because there was also someone who was a goat farmer, who I'm vegetarian, and so when he told me if I ever wanted to go back to normal, that I should try goat meat, and I was like, okay, because goat meat's normal, yep, that's fine, right? But there's just a different connection because that goat farm was called a regalo de Dios. Does anyone know what that translates as? Harima, let them try. Does someone know? Gift of God. Gift of God. Regalo is a gift. And so even though he ate meat, which is one of the reasons that I don't eat meat, is to care for creation, he stewarded the creation in his care and thought of it as a gift. I learned so much about creation spirituality from those folks. But the thing that taught me the most about it, who here has been over Wilkerson Pass? Pretty much everyone. Okay. What is the feeling you get when you come around the corner or that curve into Wilkerson Pass and it opens up into South Park? Wow. Breathtaking. And I got up substantially earlier then, so I was doing that at about sunrise every week for about 3 months. And every time, even though I knew when it was coming, it still stole my breath. Now there is a sign, right, as you're coming out of Wilkerson Pass. Does anyone know what that sign says? Land of many uses. And so here I am having this huge heart expanding experience every week, and it never gets old. And then there's this US National Forestry sign that says land of many uses. And I'm like, what? You can come over this pass and come down into South Park and see the sky go on for uncountable miles and this beautiful stretch of land. And your thought was, put a sign on it that says we can use this land. It just didn't make any sense. And we use that word steward more often in more progressive Christian circles now. Because the original translation of that psalm is that God has put the world under our feet, which is true. And that can be a way of creating relationship with the earth. There are lots of people who choose to go barefoot in the grass just to feel connected to the world. But the way that the English translation has made us, the way that it translates into English has kind of put us on a ladder with humans at the top, which allows us to put a sign on Wilkerson Pass on South Park that says, "Land of many uses, this is here for my taking, this is here for my benefit." It could be here for your benefit, but not for your exploitation. And that's the difference between dominion over, which is how it's often translated into English, and stewardship. Stewardship means we are invested in its longevity, that we care for it, that we are in relationship with it. Not something that we can extract, but like my friend the goat farmer, and we are still friends. That is a regalo de Dios, a gift of God. What a different way of entering into relationship with this planet of ours. But how often do we get the chance to stop and slow down enough to be in relationship with the land? Not often. Not often. And so I have two pieces of poetry for us this morning that encourage us. One from the 13th century, from St. Francis, who this is his feast day. Well, it is this coming week, not today specifically. But the feast day of St. Francis, which we're celebrating today. And then one from the 20th century, from a modern day mystic, Mary Oliver. Both of which invite us to slow down, to come into relationship, to be with. Not unlike our furry friends do. The ones who say, "Hey, there's a whole world outside. Let's come explore it. Let's come be part of it. Let's come smell the same tree we smell every day because something might have changed. Let's come be in relationship. Let's come experience." And so I offer first the Canticle of the Sun. This was written by St. Francis in the 1200s. And while the language is not necessarily language we would often use, the spirit is one I believe we will recognize. Most high, all-powerful, good Lord, yours are the praises, the glory, the honor, and all blessings. To you alone, Most High, do they belong, and no one is worthy to mention your name. Praise be you, my Lord, with all your creatures, especially brother sun, who is the day, through whom you give us light. And he is beautiful and radiant with great splendor and bears a likeness to you, Most High One. Praise be you, my Lord, through sister moon and the stars. In heaven you formed them clear and precious and beautiful. Praise be you, my Lord, through brother wind, and through the air, cloudy and serene, and every kind of weather through which you give sustenance to your creatures. Praise be you, my Lord, through sister water, which is very useful and humble and precious and chaste. Praise be you, my Lord, through brother fire, through whom you light the night, and he is beautiful and playful and robust and strong. Praise be you, my Lord, through sister Mother Earth, who sustains us and governs us, and who produces varied fruits with colored flowers and herbs. Praise be you, my Lord, through those who give pardon for your love and bear infirmity and tribulation. Blessed are those who endure in peace, for by you, Most High, they shall be crowned. Praise be you, my Lord, through our sister Death, from whom no one living can escape. Blessed are those whom death will find in your most holy will, for the second death shall do them no harm. Praise and bless my Lord, and give him thanks, and serve him with great humility. Amen. Francis had a deep relationship with the earth, seeing it clearly. And he was a city boy too. So there's hope for us, right? That we too can come into relationship, to come into a deep knowing and understanding, and hear what has been called the fifth gospel, the way God moves through the earth, teaching us about life and salvation and what is possible. And this from Mary Oliver, entitled In Your Hands, from her book Swan. The dog, the donkey, surely they know they are alive. Who would argue otherwise? But now, after years of consideration, I'm getting beyond that. What about the sunflowers? What about the tulips and the pines? Listen, all you have to do is start, and there'll be no stopping. What about mountains? What about water slipping over rocks? And speaking of stones, what about the little ones you can hold in your hands, their heartbeats so secret, so hidden it may take years before you finally hear them? And so I'm going to ask us, sitting with both of those two poems, to take a few moments of silence. And it's okay if it's not perfect silence. Because that is the world asking us to listen to it. We have gathered parts of the world, parts of our furry friends, our companions here with us. And they're shaking and they're speaking. It's just one more thing, one more part of creation to bear witness to listen to deeply. So we'll keep silence. Just for a few moments. One of the most sacred acts we have to give to one another is to listen, which we'll practice here in a few moments when we share our joys and concerns. But if we feel kinship with creation, which those creatures who have been placed in our care, with the land that we are on, the land that we steward, it can also teach us if we listen. And so may we come into relationship, recognizing that we are stewards and we are not separate, that this good gift of God in creation is ours to treasure, to cherish. Amen.